everyone, Mo here. I'm back on Dibi, my hard mode island. I wanted to begin building my entrance, but first, according to the hard mode rules, I needed to make my own custom designs. While I have attempted to make some custom designs in the past, and I've even created a few paths, I have never designed an island with only my own custom designs. I wanted to show you all how I created my main road path. Please like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. The first thing I did was deciding on what kind of color story I wanted. It took what seemed like forever for me to generate a color palette I was happy with. I wanted the palette to have a mix of greens and browns and grays of varying tones and shades. However, I didn't want the grays to be too gray, so I decided to make them slightly green. I also wanted some darker and some lighter shades because the darker shades could be used as a shadowing effect, while the lighter shades could be used as a brightening and highlighting effect. After I decided on a color palette, I wanted to make the centerpiece of the 3x3 path. For those of you who don't know, typically the path is a 3x3 or 9-tile path in Animal Crossing that is the main path for an island. This isn't always the case, this is just what I've seen other creators and other people use. And this is what I've done myself. Although I knew my road would probably require more than 9 tiles, I wanted to start with the 9 so I had something to work off of. For the middle piece, I started off with a base color. It was a greenish gray, a mid-tone greenish gray. And I then added in bits of the 2 other colors that were similar but slightly different in shade. In my main color palette, I had several greenish gray shades. Their hue and vividness were the same, but I adjusted their brightness to be slightly different from one another. These were the main colors in my path. At first, the middle piece was too dark for my preference, so I lightened it. This can be done by adjusting the brightness of the darker shade in the palette or adding in more of the lighter color, like I did. After I completed the middle piece and was happy with it, I copied it over to the other 8 spots of the 3x3 so I could edit them appropriately. Copying over the middle piece saves time so that I didn't have to redo the work that I had done. Copying over the middle piece allowed me to add and subtract different pixels without having to redo everything from scratch. To edit the sides and the corners, I made the tiles look distressed by removing some of the colored pixels and replacing them with transparent ones. I then added the white road stripe down the side. However, I did not actually make it white. I thought that white would be too harsh against the rest of the colors, so I made it an off-white that had a slight green color to it. I then repeated this process with the other tiles. I added transparent pixels in the corners for the corners and added white stripes as well. For some of the pieces, I wanted to generate alternative tiles that had something interesting or different about them. I thought this would help break up the path and make it more interesting. For one of the sides, I added cherry blossom petals. For another side, I added more transparent pixels to make it seem more distressed. For another piece, I added a branch. I tried to make the branch look like the branches in the game. When all was said and done, this is how the 3x3 9-tile path turned out. Please subscribe and like the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day, night, morning, whatever time it is there. Just have a good one. Bye!